Members, America has lost our last World War II Triple Ace pilot, and I ask that you join me in adjourning in memory of Brigadier General Clarence E. Bud Anderson. How appropriate to be adjourning in the memory of Bud, an American World War II hero today, of all days, on the 80th anniversary of D-Day, when thousands of brave Americans stormed the beaches of Normandy to protect freedom and drive out Nazi forces. Bud grew up on a farm near Newcastle and attended Placer Union High School. After learning of the attack on Pearl Harbor, Bud enlisted in the Air Force, and from November 1943 to January 1945, Bud flew 116 combat missions, a total of 480 hours in the air, and destroyed 16 and 1/4 enemy aircraft in aerial combat and another one on the ground. Known for his P-51 Mustang named Old Crow, Bud flew in the 357th Fighter Group Yoxford Boys and was the highest scoring ace in the 363rd Fighter Squadron. Bud continued his career in the military for 30 years. He was the commander of squadrons in post-war Korea, Okinawa, and Southeast Asia, and was later assigned to the Pentagon in the fields of research and development and operational requirements. As you may have guessed, Bud was highly decorated, 25 times to be exact. He was awarded 2 Legion of Merits, 5 Distinguished Flying Crosses, the Bronze Star, 16 Air Medals, the French Legion of Honor, and the French Croix de Guerre for valiant service in action. Bud was also highly educated. He attended Sacramento Junior College and George Washington University, the Air Force Command and Staff College, and the Army War College. He was a life member of the American Fighter Aces Association and held the rank of Fellow in the Society of Experimental Test Pilots. Bud was married to the love of his life, Eleanor Cosby, and the two were married for 70 years. They were blessed with 2 children, 4 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. Bud didn't take it easy when he retired from the Air Force in March of 1972. Instead, he joined McDonnell Aircraft Company and served for 12 years at Edwards Air Force Base as manager of the company flight test facility. After full retirement in 1984, Bud and Eleanor moved to Auburn, back to Placer County, where he spent his time penning his autobiography, To Fly and Fight. Bud consulted on many computer flying games and simulations, participated in many interviews, wrote articles for aviation periodicals, and was featured in the History Channel series Dogfight and the military channel Showdown Air Combat. When Bud turned the young age of 90, he voluntarily chose to quit flying, but continued speaking around the country, especially to kids, of what it meant to be a patriot and a pilot. Since Bud's death, I've received texts from people all over my district who knew him well. And if you lived in my district, you definitely had exposure to him because he visited all around the district and really spent time with kids. And one in particular is from a friend of mine and a mom in my district who said, Bud was like a great-grandfather to my son, Caden. He was literally the nicest, most kind man you'd ever meet. God doesn't make many guys like that, she said. We will love him and miss him forever. On May 17th, Bud passed away peacefully in his home, surrounded by his friends and family. We are blessed as a nation to have such a life among us for 102 long years. And he will not be forgotten. Just off the runway at Wings Cafe at the Auburn Airport stands a life-size bronze sculpture of Bud made by world-famous artist Douglas Van Hout. Members, as we adjourn this morning, the French people in Normandy are right now honoring and pouring out unbelievable thanks to our last of our greatest generation, as many of our American heroes have made the trek, probably for the last time, to the beaches of Normandy where they so valiant fought those 80 years ago. We owe them our thanks, we owe them our freedom, and I ask today that we join in honoring our D-Day heroes and adjourn in the memory of Brigadier General Clarence E. Bud Anderson.